So what do you think? How'd it go?
I think it went great. I mean, no, I mean, it was informative.
Anything you would have changed or added?
No, because this is actually kind of like intermediate, advanced seduction stuff. I mean, but if you're a beginner, it helps.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff that men learn down the road.
Yeah.
I didn't think about getting candles when I was 30.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And I mean, even when we met, it was a $3 candle. But it did the trick. It was great to just kind of, number one, it made me think of that you actually thought through stuff.
Yeah.
That you weren't just, because I didn't know what kind of place I was going to walk into.
No, you don't.
No. But it adds to the aroma. I mean, It
just makes things easier. Logistics, and this is pretty much what it means, controlling the environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're controlling your environment, and you're making it inviting. And what you're doing is, like you said, it's not as much as what you're doing. It's what you're avoiding.
Yes.
You're avoiding walking in and turn on the light and the dog gets off the bed, but it's laying on your clothes, and then you got to push the clothes off, and the girl's like, she can change her mind at any moment.
Well, and that's true whether it's a brand new fuck buddy or a wife you've had for 30 years.
Exactly. But I mean, and I look at this stuff, who does it benefit? Because usually the wife of 30 years has got the house kind of dialed in. You know what I mean? These young guys, young in the seduction realm, new to it, this stuff really, what do you say, propels or accelerates your close rate.
Yes.
Because, one, nobody else does it.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
No one else is thinking of it.
No. It's literally, they never think about it.
Right.
I mean, just like these guys. And the scent thing, too, is what we didn't mention was your fucking car.
Oh,
because all these guys, as I know from experience, your protein shaker bottle spills out onto the carpet.
Oh.
It's 120 degrees in Texas.
Yeah.
It's been 3 days.
It's molding.
Yeah. And, you get in the car and you roll your windows down, start driving.
Think nothing of it.
But then you put a new girl in there, or your girlfriend. She's like, this guy's disgusting.
Yeah.
And there's a time to care, there's a time to not care, But the vehicle and the house and animals and all that, I mean, it's just like, make it easy on yourself.
Yeah.
One less thing that they have to be unhappy about, or it turns them off.
Sure. It's complete turn-offs.
What do you think? Okay, let's say environmental. Out of these 5 things, what's the biggest?
I think that scent is a hard one to get past. Because if you're...
Keep talking.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've already said all... I mean, scent is a hard one to get past because if you want to... Okay, like sound. If you want to fuck hard... If you want to fuck bad enough, the baby can be crying in the other room. There can be construction going on in the condo next to you. There can be an alarm going off outside.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to stop.
Sometimes you're just not going to stop.
But you're going to stop if he has grease on his hands. I mean, that's like hygiene.
Yeah, but like the scent, it's hard to get past sickening scents and odors. And he stinks, or the apartment stinks, or his bed smells weird, or the garbage is right there. I mean, all kinds of...
Throws the whole thing off.
It's hard to get past scent.
I think scent and, did you include hygiene in this section?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, the hygiene thing...
Not necessarily. Well,
because it does. I mean, that's going to be number one. I mean, if you're not getting your hygiene... And I've read a couple of, long Twitter threads.
Yeah.
Where these girls start jumping in there about these guys that don't shower.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, gentlemen. You know what I mean?
I think it was taste when I was kind of talking about the disgusting bar sex.
And even girls that get off work, she's got a date that evening at 7 o'clock, and she goes home, showers. Sex might happen,
Yeah.
And she puts on some nice clothes and some nice panties. And he shows up straight from work.
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah,
dude, put some effort out.
And he may not be one of those guys who even showers in the morning at all. So it might have been like
Yesterday.
literally like 20 hours since his shower.
Yeah. It's just like, no, that doesn't work if you want to close a lot of girls or you have an important girl to close. You know, it's just not going to work.
And so many guys will, I mean, notoriously will spray cologne on their shirt on the way into the date as if that's the key.
And like you said, it covers, and then the whole thing mixes together, and then you're in trouble.
It's terrible.
And
it's
again,
a pain
you know
of turd.
what? It's almost to the point now that we think about this and we're talking about this. When these guys reach out and they're like, "Man, I'm just not able to." The very first thing we suppose that they got their hygiene in order. They might not.
We don't need to assume anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, we learned that in fitness. Like, we think people eat somewhat normal, but after enough years in the business, you know, all people are garbage pits.
That's a good point.
Until they prove otherwise, you know, very rare. But, the scent thing and hygiene and the car being clean. One thing that somebody did bring up, and, you know, you're talking about, like, noise.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have, like, signaled or something. What do you suggest? Because you always have good stuff. Kids are in the house. Or you want to have sex and there's kids.
Yeah.
You know. Because what was your suggestion?
Well, I always say blood, broken bones, and fire. You know, literally teaching children to entertain themselves goes a long way. Just because mommy and daddy are not in the room, they need to be okay with that. I'm not talking about like
for hours.
But I'm not talking about like an unsafe environment for children. But if they're in a safe environment and have something distracting them, are okay playing by themselves or with their siblings, or are old enough to genuinely kind of, you know, self-manage a little bit, then even with the kids in the house, even with them in the other room, you can play with that. It's no different than kind of when you're a teenager and first having sex and, you know, maybe the parents are home or you're supposed to be babysitting the little brother or whatever, but you sneak off and into the bedroom and you have sex real quick and you have to be quiet. And it's actually arousing to kind of have to sneak around.
Yeah.
Play with it.
Yeah.
You know, but also be okay with locking the door, because you can get to a door. You know what bad screams are or what real need sounds like from your children. Or go to the restroom together. Go, you know.
Or the closet.
Yeah. But I mean, closets don't have locks.
That's true.
That's why I say the restroom.
Yeah.
Kids might get panicky if the bedroom door is locked, but it's not strange for a bathroom to be closed.
That's good.
Locked.
Yeah.
So, you know, mess around when you have pockets of time and not just at the end of a very long day when you're exhausted.
Because then it's going to start not happening.
Yeah. But it's you know, maybe like you have a theme song or something where literally it becomes kind of a lesson. And this is actually going to sound lewd to anyone who hasn't been there, but I think that even having like a song where you're like, listen, when this song is playing, this means that mommy and daddy are working on the taxes. And we have to really focus when mommy and daddy are working on the taxes. So you can't open the door or you can't unless you need us, we have to work on taxes. You know, you have like codes or whatever it is that you want to say. We're balancing the checkbook, you know, whatever you have to do to tell the kids is the reason why you need 30 minutes of privacy. And if there's blood, fire, and broken bones, then they can interrupt.
Yeah.
But otherwise...
And I think a lot of people, they let that window of time where the kids are small.
Yeah.
They're all small at that point. It can ruin the marriage when it's just a window of time. Because as soon as the oldest one is like 10 or 11,
yeah,
they can kind of like control the other ones.
It's
you know
true.
what I mean?
It's true.
And they will with an iron fist if they have to. But
sounds
it's literally
very personal.
like, yeah, even, you know, when you realize this is only for a brief period of time, maybe 4 to 5 years. You can almost get through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for a lot of people, I think they go, oh, we're never going to be able to have sex again. Or,
yeah.
we always have to pay $70 for a babysitter for 2 hours.
No.
None of that works. But that's the idea, the kids thing. Somebody brought that up. They're like, the kids are knocking on the door.
Yeah. And that's where just having lessons, go a long way.
And I like one thing that you did mention, but these guys, you don't necessarily have to have a girlfriend to have your sex playlist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I had one that was called Girls.
Yeah.
And it's just
Girls and Girls 2 and Girls 3.
Yeah. Because you don't want like Slayer coming on in the middle of,
Exactly.
Or whatever,
but
whatever works for you. And then you have it.
But then you can also have a few different kind of vibes, because you're not going to always feel like Barry White. Sometimes you're going to feel like country, or sometimes
exactly.
like literally like sometimes it's just going to be like I want this. I don't have that same exact kind of energy, but I still want a sexy playlist that's reliable, that isn't going to be just random.
And one gentleman asked, your average girl, and he had heard us in on one of the other podcasts, your average girl isn't inclined to do a lot of sex talk. Mm-hmm. And I agreed. I mean, but it's teachable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, your average girl, it's just not in her wheelhouse. Kind of like he said, are they hardwired? And I would say yes, to not be very vocal.
Right.
But once with comfort and with alcohol, like you said, huge game changers.
Yeah.
Because once she kind of breaks through the wall,
then you can bring it out even when there's not alcohol involved.
Exactly. I like that.
It's big.
I thought that was really good, the alcohol part.
Yeah. Good.
What else?
How are the comments? Was it
great?
Pretty. I was tickled by how active it was. I mean, I can't really read it much just because of the way I've got things set up right now, because I know I don't have to because you're there. But I was like, it was churning, and I love that.
Yeah, Sarah Beth was in there giving advice.
Yeah, I saw.
That's funny.
Well, and that's why I was glad that I figured out that SB was Sarah Beth, because
I know.
That way I could talk about our chat tomorrow.
I know, it's perfect.
I'm super excited about
good.
that.
And that's it, baby. I can't think of anything in the comments that didn't get addressed.
Yeah. You wouldn't change anything?